Hey, welcome to Wholanta Virtual TARDIS Live 2020. This is Cortland Lewis. I know I'm usually the philosophy guy, but I also participate in those late night cabarets with Moxie Magnus and all the other guests. And so I talked to Alan about maybe performing a couple of tunes, especially in light of the passing of Ken Spivey, who was a long time attendee, fan, and really, for me anyway, integral part of what Timegate was and what Wholanta became. I started attending in 2012, and it was right after Doctor Who and Philosophy came out, and I was living in Knoxville, Tennessee. Got in touch with Alan, came down as a guest in 2012, and instantly became a fan of the Ken Spivey band. Which was then, I just think it was him and his father. And so I really loved the way he mixed his folk tunes with Doctor Who. And I said, that's a great idea. We later talked. We would talk constantly, even throughout the year. We'd work on philosophical projects. And we realized we had a big love of Bob Dylan and just music in general. So he passed away earlier this year, and I knew he'd been sick for many years. We had talked about it. He always kept it quiet, but this was it was still a hard blow, and the family's supposed to have some sort of celebration or gathering at some point. But with this whole COVID-19, that's why we're here, and I'm here mainly because I want to celebrate Doctor Who, but also I want to honor Ken Spivey. So I'm going to try to play one of the tunes. It's Why Did You Let Rose Tyler Go? And it's my arrangement. It's my best ability to do honor to Ken Spivey and all he did. So hope you enjoy, Ken. Like a summer day, could you let her go? All right, Ken, I hope you like that. That's a little bit different, a little bit, well, it's my adaptation of it. So, all right, so as I mentioned, I began in 2012. I was doing Doctor Who and philosophy, and I would show up, meet a lot of great people discussing Doctor Who and philosophy, realizing that there were a lot of strange, geeky people like me willing to put their ideas out there and to just have fun, right? It didn't matter if I sat around talking about how I enjoyed Chameleon or that I liked the Sixth Doctor. I found a place, and I mean, I went to so many events that first year. I was really taken care of and just was really amazed. The next year was just as amazing. We had, I believe that next year, it gets so confusing because I was finishing up graduate school at the time. But I know it might have been 2 years later. Colin Baker came, and between him and Lewis and Moxie and Ken and everyone else, I was like, next year I'm going to do something that will, is just for, I'm going to get up there because I don't typically sing in front of people. So talk to Alan about being in the masquerade, help out in any way I can. And so I was asked to play a song. And so I'm going to, the first two songs I did, well, the first one nobody knew. It was a parody of Kiss's Strutter. And yeah, at the end of it, I expected a big Kiss reception, but no one knew what the heck I was playing. So no big deal. It's Strutter. It's a great tune. Check it out. It's on their first album. But the second one, I felt like really touched some people. So I'm going to play it again today. I don't have the original lyrics. I've been moving files and I can't get in my office at work because of the COVID-19. So, but this is the original with a couple of words changed. It's also quite appropriate for, gosh, all the trouble in the world. So this goes out to all of those struggling to find peace in the face of sickness and death and brutality and violence. But it's also another one in honor of Ken, because he was a huge Bob Dylan fan. So I know he appreciated this song. How many roads must a man walk down before you can call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she can sleep in the sand? And how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is it's in the TARDIS. The answer is in the TARDIS. How many miles must a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? And how many years can some people exist before they are allowed to be free just to run down the streets or watch Doctor Who or do everything that we all have the right to do? And how many times can a man turn his head? Just pretend that he just doesn't see. The answer, my friend, yes, it's blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? How many times must a man have before he can hear people cry? And how many deaths will it take till he knows that, Lord, too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. All right. So yeah, that's little Bob Dylan. Yeah, when I originally did the song, changed the lyrics about going on an adventure with Doctor Who, stating that the answer is in the TARDIS, and a large part of me still believes that Doctor Who and the adventures in the TARDIS are something special, and that they speak to us in ways that they communicate the ideas that many of us, many people have found in religious texts over the years. Not to say Doctor Who's a religion, although I touch on that in one of my books. But I do think it serves that place of meaning for many people, especially when you look around and you see how sometimes religions don't always live up to the great things that you would want of them. So, not going down that path. Feel free to email me, read my books, check out my blog, which is Cortland Lewis at wordpress.com. I'm actually on there now. I'm doing a lot of stuff on the Kids in the Hall right now. Working on some reviews of the 8th Doctor novels, and also the Star Trek The Next Generation number novels. So I've got a lot of stuff I'm doing. I'm going to spend some time just blogging. I know, right? Somebody is probably Alan or Moxie's like, hey, yeah, welcome to the 2000s. But hey, I'm an old dog. This is a tune I did the year. Actually, it was another year that Colin Baker was in town. It was a great year. Several guests there. But one of the themes, or unofficial themes, was David Bowie, and I had the honor of getting up with Lewis Robinson and Alan Seiler there to do some tunes. So I'm going to do one of the tunes we did. And I'm going to do it with a capo. Actually, I'm not going to do it. That might throw me off. So I'm going to do it without a capo. All right, so feel free to sing along. I remember a lot of people singing along on this one. So... where Alan counts down for me. The ground can count down, engines on. Check ignition and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You really made the grade, and the papers want to know who shuts you well. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom, the ground control. I'm stepping through the door, and I'm floating in a most peculiar way. And the stars, they look different today. Oh, here am I sitting in a tin can, high above the world. Planet Earth so blue, and there's nothing I can do. Tell my wife I love her very much. She knows. Ground control to Major Tom. Your circuit's red. Oh, there's something wrong. Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me? 'Cause sitting in a tin can, high above the world. Planet Earth so blue, and there's nothing I can do. All right, so obviously, a couple of those notes weren't actually notes. Maybe you can spot them out. Yeah, that F major 7, right? So, here am I, sitting in a tin can, high above the world. And I mean, Bowie and his bandmates, I mean, they were brilliant. They just said, hey, let's throw in a B major 7, which is something crazy. I think that's it. I'm not sure I played that during the song. The planet is so blue. I could have cheated. I think I cheated back in when I played it there. Gosh, there are all sorts of cheats to the guitar. That's why my name isn't Lewis Robinson, who's a master. So, so I'm always happy that Alan and Moxie put up with me. Gosh, I've had a lot of fun playing with Moxie over the years. If she were here, I'm sure we would probably be laughing more. Probably be doing all sorts of stuff. I know one of the fun things we did was, I'm a little bit country, I'm a little bit rock and roll. So I always get a good giggle when I see those truck commercials that play that song, and I'm like, nobody did it better than Moxie and I, who we didn't actually practice or anything. We sent a bunch of emails and said, hey, you play here, you sing this. If you think of something funny to say, throw it in there. So that's what we did. And that's really the great thing about Hoolanta, formerly known as Timegate, and all the people out there. Man, I miss y'all. I'm up here in Kentucky still, but it was really great to see y'all every year and really grow up. And I know that I'll share something. I know one year I was there, it was probably 2016, and sitting there, it was a slow Sunday morning. But it was, Sunday mornings, a lot of times you'd see families there, usually a parent and a child. And I remember seeing this dad and his kid running around. His kid was dressed as David Tennant, the 10th Doctor. And gosh, right, I had this really emotional moment because my wife and I were never able to have children. And so I just remember, I don't know, it struck me that I was like, I will never get to experience that. And that made me really sad. And so I had to keep from crying. Maybe I did cry a little bit. I could, reach under the table for some books. And so that was just really hard. It just hit me, it's Sunday morning. What else are you going to do except get depressed, thinking about life. But anyway, I ended up the next year, in fact, adopted my son, Elliot, and I was able to bring him last year. It was his first Doctor Who convention, and he was just amazed. Still to this day, he is Doctor. I built him a TARDIS, and everything's Doctor Who. And I guess that's what happens when you wake up every Saturday morning and watch classic Doctor Who. He had nightmares about the Autons the other day. So anyway, I'm gonna do one more song, and then I'll send it away. Thanks again, Alan, for putting this together. Thanks again, all the guests who've graciously been a part of this. Gosh, I love you, Colin Baker, and I know you always enjoy talking about my books, and you, whether you meant it or not, you graciously accepted them and talked to me, and it was always great. Thanks for being a part of it. Sophie Aldred, would have loved to have met you. I've got your book. It's on my summer reading list. My 3-year-old will never let me have free time, which, hey, I don't mind. This is a song by the great composer Josh Ritter, who, gosh, every album of his is a masterpiece. And he does free shows every week on his Facebook thingy there, and also YouTube. So anyway, check out Josh Ritter, great songwriter. Radio, well, let's see if I can find the note. Radio waves are coming from miles and miles, bringing only empty boats. Whatever feelings they had when they sailed, somehow they slipped between the notes. I'm out on the desert and I'm feeling lost. Bonnie, she wears a wire albatross, monster ballads and the stations of the cross. Sign just a little bit, sign just a little bit. I was thinking about what Katie done, thinking about what Katie did. Fairest daughter of the Pharaoh's son, dressed in gold 'neath pyramids, out on the desert, and I'm feeling lost. The as a wire, albatross, country music and the stations of the cross, and I'm sighing just a little bit, sighing just a little bit. The ones and zeros bleeding mess and noise, and when you're empty there's no space for them. You turn off that still, you hear the small voice. It comes a-blazing from some vast horizon. And I was thinking about my river days. I was thinking about me and Jim, we're passing Cairo on a getaway, with every steamboat like a hymn, out on the desert, and now I'm feeling lost. Bonnie, she wears a wire, albatross, country music and the stations of the cross. Oh, I'm just a sign of it, I'm just a sign a little bit. All right, Josh Ritter, Monster Ballads. Great tune. I always think of my friend Jim Smith, who passed away way too young. Gosh, so full of life. Man, good music does that. Good people do that. Good conventions do that. Thank you all who are here and participating. I wish I could see all of you. I know I've left a ton of people out, and I apologize. But man, like me on Facebook, Cortland Lewis. I think there's a picture of my wife and Jenny and I on there. There's also Doctor Who and Philosophy on Facebook. You can find me through that. I have my blog, which is cortlandlewis.wordpress.com. I'm on there now. You can leave comments. Again, I'm oldish, newish to the blogging world. I just don't have time. I've been writing books and stuff. So check out my books. I got Doctor Who and Philosophy, more Doctor Who and Philosophy. I've got, wait for it, Kiss and Philosophy coming out hopefully later this year, which actually contains a wonderful, wonderful chapter by Mr. R. Alan Seiler, who's a big Kiss fan. We share all sorts of loves too, right? Eric Carr, Kiss, I mean, just everything. So we're sort of brothers torn apart in some sort of weird time thing. So anyway, thanks for coming out. I want a special shout out to all those who've lost people to COVID-19. Hang in there. Gosh, this is the worst thing we've experienced, right? 100,000. And then you got all the people who are suffering in other ways through violence. So hang in there. Keep the faith. Doctor Who, Wholanta, the virtual live 2020. Thank you all. Rock on. That should be enough.